What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the show. I, of course, am John, the creative blue-collar guy, and I've got just another little solo cast for you today, but I did sort of a half-assed welcome video that's on the channel there somewhere. Don't go watch it. But that one I was trying to keep down to, I think, 30 seconds to a minute. Something kind of just brief to say, here's who I am, here's what I want to do with the channel. I'm still figuring that out, so even when I started this and did that welcome video, I wasn't entirely sure what I was doing, but I did want to take this opportunity now to do a little bit of a longer video, hopefully not too long, because you don't want to just hear me running my mouth forever. A lot more fun if I at least have Roman or somebody else to bounce off of and drink some whiskey with, which, cheers, by the way. I've got the Belching Beaver Deftones collaboration Phantom Bride IPA here with their brand new logo label. These used to be cans used to be all black. Probably can't see it so well, but there's smaller artwork in the white there. There we go. Don't worry, this is not a beer review because I just know that I like beer. I don't know how to talk about it that in depth. But what I am going to talk about is I want to give a little bit more insight into who I am. Why I started this channel, why I have this ridiculously long handle for my channel that is really hard to remember, which I'm actually probably going to rebrand at some point soon, which would be a good thing if you have an idea for something shorter and easier to remember, but keeps with the vibe of my current name, what I'm doing. Throw it in the comments. I'm always open to feedback, negative, positive, anything, just, I don't know, comment, say something. I wanted to talk a little bit more about who I am, what I'm doing here, why you should care, why you should watch. So, the title, who is the blue collar guy? First of all, I'm John. Nice to meet all of you. If you are new here, thank you so much for being here. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you are a returning viewer, thank you also. Thank you for the support that I've been getting so far. But I just, I guess the name sort of came to me one day, and again, it's long and complicated, hard to remember, but it just sort of came to me one day because I have, as long as I've been working, as long as I've been collecting a paycheck, I'd say largely about 99% of the jobs I have held in my lifetime were some form of working in a warehouse, some kind of manufacturing, production, metal shops, machine shops, wood shops, just stuff where you're gonna work with your hands and you're gonna go home pretty filthy. So, that being said, I've often found most places that I've worked, there's a lot of people there that just, I mean, I don't know, the simple answers I want to say, it's like they just hate their lives. Like, they're just kind of there, they say, okay, well, this is my paycheck, and then I go home, I drink a 30-pack in the garage, I go inside, kick the dog, yell at the wife, sit in front of the TV, go to bed, get up, do it all over again. You can just tell the people that you work with in these environments who don't have hobbies, they don't have anything to look forward to going home, which in and of itself is a whole other thing. Like, that whole idea of just working to go home and just working to get to the weekend, like that's not a life either. I mean, I firmly believe you should have something about what you do all day long that you enjoy. Maybe you don't like your boss, maybe you don't like your coworkers, but if you can at least find some kind of joy in what you're doing, that first and foremost is an important thing. But again, I've had a lot of these guys, a lot of these coworkers that, like, that's it. When they go to work, like, work is like their social hour. Work is how they get away from their wife or their significant other or whatever, which is a sad thing. That's how they feel, is that they would rather be at work than with their family or with their, loved ones, or just, I don't know. So I've worked with a lot of strange characters that you can just tell, like, when they go home, it's like they've got nothing else going on. They're just totally married to the job. They hardly ever take time off. Even if you accrue PTO, like they say, here's vacation time. You can take time off. You can take a whole week off and we will still pay you. And you get these guys that are all proud of themselves and brag. They're like, oh, I never take any time off. It's like, no, like, you should. Literally, the company wants you to take time off and not get burned out. But somehow these guys get this chip on their shoulders that they're reliable and they show up every day. They're lazy and they work slow on purpose, but they're there every day. And they just, that's where they hang out. That's their social time. That's how they, whatever. They don't have any hobbies. They don't have anything else going on when they get home. And I've always felt like the odd man out because I'm a musician, among other things. Very, very hobby side of things. I kind of play around with some photography. I did it in high school where I learned actually developing the film by hand, going into the darkroom and printing actual prints on those machines in the darkroom. That was really cool. The digital side of photography, I'm kind of whatever. I don't have anything fancy. It's nothing really to look at, but it's fun for me just kind of every once in a while. But I'm not overly obsessed with sports. I can sit and watch a football game and be entertained, but I don't know the names of the players. I don't know the stats. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk to my coworkers. I don't know, I guess I'm antisocial, but they just want to make small talk to kind of pass the time and not work. To which I say, well, I'm here to work. I'm here to get my paycheck, and you're in my way. Maybe I'm being kind of unfriendly too. I don't know. And then especially politics. Don't get me wrong. I have my very firm beliefs and thoughts and opinions and convictions about what's going on in the world today, but work is not the place to do that. Just because you have to see each other all day, every day, whether you like it or not. So it's like sports, weather, politics, all of that. I don't care. I'm just here to work. I just want to put my earbuds in and listen to music or listen to a podcast and just get through my day. Because I do, for the most part, enjoy the type of work that I do. I just, for many, many years, have not enjoyed the people that I work for or the people that I work with. That's a whole other video. We'll get to that eventually. So I just work with these people that just kind of have nothing else going on in their lives, and I always kind of feel like that weird guy where it's like, yes, I work in a blue-collar environment. Yes, I work in a machine shop, but I want to take time off. I want to travel. I play music. I, do photography. I have all these other things going on. And so it's like, I'm the creative blue-collar guy because, at least in my line of work, I have not run into many people. I've worked for instrument manufacturers. I've worked for companies that build instruments, and you'd be surprised how many of those employees do not play a musical instrument, and they just say, well, it's a job, and they hate it, and they don't care. They put piss poor quality into what they're making. I won't name the names of the companies because that would look bad. But that was always really disappointing to see these guys who are building these beautiful instruments that were just like, I don't care, it's good enough. Me as a musician, I'm like, well, if I'm going to pay a ton of money for this thing, I kind of want to know that the people building them, halfway give a shit about what they're doing. Anyways, all that to say, it's not to say that all blue-collar people are not creative. These are the people that I've encountered. These are the people that I work with. But like my sister, for example, she is a self-employed tile setter, tile contractor. I don't necessarily know maybe the right terminology. If you watch this, you can comment and tell me I'm an idiot or whatever, but she does tile, bathrooms, kitchens, whatever. Like, she's self-employed. She works for herself. Just brought on an apprentice recently, but and she's also very creative in a lot of ways, photography, for example. But she loves what she does. She absolutely loves it because doing tile, she is still able to be creative. So it's blue collar. She's running saws. She's wearing boots. She's, you get dirty, you get everything. But the pictures that she posts, and I'll link her Instagram on this video, so you can go give her a follow. Lotus Tile Company. She's based out of Denver, Colorado, but she will travel if you make it worth it. But she posts pictures of just these most beautiful jobs that she finishes because she is still able to be creative with a job that I think a lot of times any kind of blue collar work, if you're gonna get messy and dirty and you might rip a hole in your jeans or something, it's kind of looked down on. But you gotta love what you do, and we're both the types of people that we like working with our hands and making cool. So I more or less kind of created this channel. YouTube, Spotify, wherever you're listening to this, wherever you're watching this, I created this because I wanted to kind of bridge that gap a little bit more. I want to find more people who, you have your day job, you might love it, you might hate it, whatever, but what do you do at work? What do you enjoy about work? What do you not like about it? If you could do anything for a career, what do you want to do? What do you do outside of work? Like, I personally, even if I love my job, which it's 50-50 right now, maybe more like 20-80, I don't feel like doing math right now. However, I just really don't feel like people should be totally defined by their paycheck, how you pay your bills. Everybody's got bills to pay. Everyone's got to get by. But hobbies and other things that we do with our time are also, I mean, you can't be so one-dimensional that it's, well, I'm a machinist and that's all I am. And I have some friends that's who they are and they're happy to be that. But I want more out of my life than just what my career is. So, and I often ask people these questions of like, well, how are you creative? And you might have some people say, oh, I'm not creative, because immediately people's brains go to, I don't know how to play an instrument, or I can't draw or paint, and those are great outlets. I as a musician always look at people who could just sit there with a napkin and a pen and sketch something totally out of their brain. People who can paint these beautiful canvases and beautiful paintings, and I think, oh man, like I wish I could do that. And almost every time, not always, because I have some friends that can draw, sketch, paint, and play instruments, but almost every time when I've looked at something that someone's like just doodling, like not even really thinking about it, just sketching, or even if they can really make these beautiful pieces of artwork on a canvas, they say, oh my gosh, like I've always wished I could do something like that. They'll turn to me and say, well, I've always wished that I could play an instrument. So it's like, on one hand, everyone always kind of wants the thing they don't have, but everyone has some kind of creative outlet. I mean, some people really love to cook. I can't cook to save my life. I can barely boil a pot of pasta without burning my apartment down. But some people, like, that is their happy place. They love to be in the kitchen. They love to cook. You see people who bake, and I've known people who, is just sort of a side hustle, will bake like wedding cakes. And again, these beautiful, elaborate pieces of art that people are going to cut into and mash into each other's faces. But I think a lot of times people kind of think of, oh, well, if I'm not an artist, if I'm not a musician, if they think, oh, well, I'm not creative. But no, everyone has their thing. It's just, what is it? What is your outlet? What are you passionate about? What makes you happy? Whether it's what you do for a paycheck, and if that's it, I mean, good for you. I applaud you if you are doing what you want to do and getting paid for it. But then even outside of that, when you go home, what do you do that makes you happy? That you just helps you unwind, helps you relax? Kind of the long and short of it. Again, I said I was going to try to keep this video pretty short, just to sort of throw out there what I want to do, what I want to talk about, the different types of people I want to have. I want to start having on more guests. So if you are someone, if you're watching this and we're already connected on social media, or if you're not, sound off in the comments, find me on Instagram, send me a DM, something like. I would love to have all sorts of different guests on this channel from all different backgrounds, whatever you do. Like I said, what you do for your paycheck, what your day job is, what your hobbies are, what your passions are. And if you're lucky enough to be one of those people where those two things are one and the same, I want to talk to you. I want to have you on the channel. We can talk about music. We can talk about whatever. But I want to know where other people are at, and where you may or may not feel kind of, maybe not necessarily a little bit left out, but like you don't quite fit in. But this is so... that's all I'm after, is whether you're a blue-collar worker, whether you're an artist, whether you're whatever, if you're somewhere in the middle, whatever, like, let's chat. But that's kind of my overall goal. That's what I'm aiming for with this channel. That's who I am. And I got lots of big ideas and dreams in the back of my brain for stuff that I would like to do. But for now, I'm a machinist working for someone else, and it is what it is. But that doesn't mean it has to be forever, so we can even talk about that. That's it in a nutshell as far as who is the creative blue-collar guy. If you have watched this far through, thank you so much for being here. If you have not already, make sure to like and subscribe. And again, like I said, sound off in the comments. Let me know stuff you want to hear me talk about. If you'd like to be a guest on the channel, I'd love to have you. I'd love to chat with you. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Cheers.